icons of the elite tier that they aren't necessarily ready for the uptick in performance that's necessary to compete in Master, not just thrive, but to even survive at times, because it tends to be quite a skill gap, mainly in terms of inconsistency, but also sometimes with mechanics. We see plenty of mechanics itself in Elite. That Bladesmith's roster we talked so much about, and one of the highlights of that, Venom themselves as well, high up in the conferences, but it's one of those that I think it's a personal decision as much as it is a if you're forced into it because of your CMV. If you pop off in ranked, and then you kind of make a rod for your own back with that if you're not ready to go up a tier. But we'll have to see. Neither of these teams probably aspiring for that right now, considering the position they're in, just fighting to prove why they deserve to be in the playoffs at the very least. Started pretty neutral between the two. Might have expected that. But really, I look to Vanguards to try and hold off this Enclave side, which might have renewed hopes of making that playing spot. A new roster means new, fresh mentalities, fresh beliefs. And they start out here with a great finish from Punk, and even better assist from Sinks. Oh my goodness.
We've seen some incredible assists this evening. From the previous series to now. What a way to open up the scoring. It's going to go in favour of Enclave, exactly how they'd want to start. Obviously being that lower seed, looking for that 3-1 victory to take them up into potential play-in spots. That's exactly how you want to be starting this, and I do really think that this game one is absolutely huge. If Enclave can come out on top, it sets lots of things up. It's a great shot. Premier having to panic back almost to keep that away. Rotations were, enough for him, but Ponk, again, returning a favour, panicking back, and it's given Premier the opportunity to have a shot there. And rotations for Enclave, not as clean as Vanguards, and it's given Vanguards the way back into this game.
I thought we just left the Premier tier. We've got a Premier player right here. His name's literally Premier. And he's scoring. Ponk was a little bit, I think, maybe expecting a quicker play there, an aerial or something. He jumped very, very early. And he had plenty of boost left in the tank by the time that went in, but just misjudged the trajectory of the ball. No trouble there for Premier though. So yeah, evens the scoring, something that they'll have wanted to do early on, not allow a 2-goal lead for Enclave, and for them to gain some momentum, knowing that they're just below them, and the onus is kind of on them. They're arguably the underdogs in this series. They've done well there. Pushing this back into the mid. Ponk, 50's out. Didn't quite get what he wants. Skazy keeps that one away from Sinks, and a demo as well, almost a clear, but Faxon is there. Can't quite get back to the ball. It's a floater, and Premier keeps it away. But straight back into another blue player's mitts as he almost gets the... I don't know if that was a pre-flip, a delayed flip, it was something like that. All I know is that it looked deadly. They managed to avoid the sting of that strike, but not this one. Faxon gets a shot, so does Sinks, but it's off the post, off Premier's bumper, and they keep it out to keep this one even. What a save.
Really beautiful save coming out there. And that may well be the save that wins them the game, or at least gives them opportunity to do so, as we've gone across the halfway marker here. Menorca with all the pressure, trying to dribble it around. Sinks is going to come in for the challenge. Premier's going to be there to keep the attack alive. Met by Ponk as he tries to find a clearance. Not effective. Menorca's up. Tries. Oh, so smart from Menorca just to leave it.
I'm not entirely sure this is intentional. Maybe he just missed the ball. He was really far behind it. Either way, it bamboozled the defense. I think there was a little bit of disruption from Skazy as well, so that threw them off. At the 2-minute mark, they make their goal tally 2, almost 3 off the kickoff. Menorca can't quite get to it. Looks for the follow-up, but Sinks is in the way. And they'll hate to concede in that manner. In fact, they couldn't even get a defender to the ball. They assumed there was going to be a follow-up touch. They're going to have to deal with it, as are they. How are going to have to deal with this? Nice pass upfield. Premier was there, but a little too slow to the mark. Faxon wins through the corner battle. Skazy wins the mid battle though, just to Ponk. Got time in the corner, but only 16 boosts to work with. Has to make the right decision, and he makes the best one if possible. It's a great pinch off the wall. I think it's gotten a lot more back and forth now, and both sides know what the other's capable of, and they're not leaving too much space to work with. But if you can just disrupt, if you can demo out the first man like that, you can give yourself more opportunity than your opponent would ever dream of giving you.
We saw Enclave with a hell of a lot of demos in their stats. Granted, it's a new roster. Maybe that's something that we're yet to see them bring out their party book of tricks. Here's Menorca looking to put another shot onto the goal. Whether it is taken away, Juicy thinks there.
Oh, no.
And a great flick it was, but you have to say it was definitely stoppable, defendable by Premier. He completely miscalculated the jump. And subsequently, it's Enclave back into the game 2-2 with under a minute left, 53 seconds. Who's going to have the ice here to close out this game number 1 of this best of 4 series? It's back and forth, as you said, as you'd expect so far. You have to give credit where credit's due to Vanguards. They look a little bit more threatening, but Enclave really being able to capitalize a little bit more effectively from the opportunities they've been providing themselves. They are still in the back foot with Vanguard's pressuring the blue half now. Great touch from Skies to knock it forward. Of course, going to be there once again. Place off the ball, looking for a shot, but a double commit in front of the net. Going to pay off for them. Menorca's actually going to knock it back into his own half. Six tried to find the pinch into the goal, and they do so. What a touch from Ponk. Also taking around Menorca. Phasens is there. Tries to put it forward, but not enough boost really to do anything of it. Is Enclave almost trying to force something here. Gaze trying to break away. Ponk with a great touch of his own. Isn't going to be able to follow it up as Premier's going to knock it down. Phasens going to get bumped. Off the back board it goes. Phasens again. No, he's gone. It was so close. But denied by the woodwork.
Could not quite thread the needle there. So tantalizingly close to going posting in, but posting out. The Vanguards will be thanking their lucky stars that they even get a chance here. Amazing pinch clear, and Sinks is in an awkward position. Menorca with the shot. Skeezy will be there. Reads the bounce. Reads the shot. Finishes it as well. It doesn't matter if it's overtime. They come so narrowly close to losing game 1, but a fantastic finish to end it. Punk has no idea where this one's going to go. And they lose game 1 in a fashion that they must be kicking themselves so much. So close to taking it with that buzzer beater, but sometimes it just doesn't go your way, Hop. And Enclave managed to take this first game.
That's a painful L.
You have to say. Enclave looks so close, as you said. If we saw, Phasens almost scored the double tap to win it in regulation. Okay, so marginally off, but at the end of the day, it's just not meant to be. Both the teams finding 8 shots apiece. Both teams finding 4 saves apiece, and I really think it plays dividends into how closely matched these two sides are. But at the end of the day, Vanguards, they're in the higher spot, for a reason, and it's proving to be. We also, just come up on my screen, that earlier attempt where the ball was halfway into the goal, into the Vanguard's goal, but Premier was able to keep it out. So Enclave marginally kept away from 2 goals and a goal win here. It's so close between these two sides. You have to say, I think that the Psionics gods, the Epic Games gods, the Rocket League gods, favouring Vanguards just a little bit, but regardless, they've taken game number 1, and they're setting themselves up for shutting Enclave out of play and potential.
Yeah, they're very rarely benevolent, those deities. Quite fickle. If you don't follow the rules, especially follow the rules, always. Keep the ball off the ground. Don't break the ties. The bumper bumpers, as I sometimes call them. First time I've ever called them that. I don't know why I said I sometimes call them that. I'm
Bumper bumpers.
Are
you alright? Are you okay there, Vector?
I didn't know what other word to use, so I just used the same word twice. So
I mean, yeah.
we move past it. And we try to figure out what we're doing here, just as Enclave try to figure out their woes as well. The fact that they came that close, they got an overtime. There's not much to change, you could argue. It's just about clinical finishing for them, keeping out the opposition as well, not making the big mistakes in the midfield that led to the clear chances as Menorca just keeps away Punk's clear chance and then has one on offense as well to Premier, to the goal line, over the goal line, and they finish an amazing passing play to open the scoring. Vanguards continue to be on a roll.
They really are. Great passing play. What more can you want but something delectable like that? Great finish. Vanguard looking hot, keeping up their momentum from game number 1. Ball is very and truly in Enclave's court, both metaphorically and literally here. Can they do anything to answer back? We're so close in game number 1. Close out. Great demo from Premier, almost leading to a second goal for Vanguards. FaZe is going to beat him out. Can he read this? Awkward bounce for him. Give Menorca the freest clear of the world.
Oh.
Great another touch from Sinks, almost giving Ponk an opportunity. Menorca is already correct side to push the ball onto the backboard, looking for Skies. He isn't able to get it away to the backboard. He's given a counter attack, and what a shot! FaZe and shot gonna hit the crossbar.
Oh,
Again, this side of Enclave becoming so narrowly close to scoring. You're just so far away, but a mistake. What? Oh my! What am I watching?
and that crossbar hit right there tells you just how bad their misfortunes were. Ponk maybe expecting Sinks to be ready for this, but he was maybe ball cam off, went to the corner boost, and just the timing was completely off. Premier's was completely on. Reads that, intercepts it, sends it to the back of the net. And a 2-goal lead is taken. It could be a 1-goal lead unless Menorca's going to come flying in to take that shot straight off of Sinks' bumper. Keeps it in the favour of the Vanguards. And this is what I was thinking that they need to do to Enclave. You know, damage their hopes and their desires, their dreams, and making it into a playoff spot. If you can just get into their heads, get under their skin, you can really mess with them, as it seems to be here. Ponk had a relatively free double tap opportunity there, just does not quite read the trajectory of the ball well enough. Could have equalised. Those chances are the ones you've got to finish off. But never mind, Faxon's going to finish one off that I didn't expect him to.
No.
Gets an amazing 50 win. Premier has been doing so well in this game, but not so well on defense as he gets beaten out there. A 1-2 dunk, you call it.
1-2.
Scoring is close.
I mean, it was a great read coming out from Faxon to give them the opportunity to come back into this game, and eventually, you said, Premier being very, very good on defense. I don't think necessarily say it was a mistake. I think it's just more Faxon with a beautiful read as he's going up again. Plays towards the backboard, really can't do too much with it. Give Menorca a lot of space to pop it off his own corner. Hasn't got too much boost left, so tries to flip into it, leaving Ponk the opportunity to pop into the centre. FaZe with another 50-50 win. So he's going to be there, trying to set something up, plays it off the backboard. Gage just really awkwardly taps it down, trying to give Menorca as much pace to play it out from their own half as possible. Thinks he's there once again, keeping the attack alive for this side, for the Enclave roster. Faxon, another 50-50, a great touch from Sinks, going to drop in, yes it is, no it isn't! No! It's missed out again! This side of Enclave cannot catch a break!
I'm going to say it again, Hope. They can't buy a goal.
They cannot.
Like, the how close do you need to be? How close to the goal line does it have to get? It was a little awkward because of the bounce, the height of the ball, but you've got to be clinical there. Those chances are few and far between, and I really don't see Vanguards giving him all that much. Gave him one. Doubt they'll get another as another 50 win from Sinks, but Menorca beats out the first man, and Faxon is forced to dive on this, almost gets the 50 win there as well. But all Vanguards need to do is play time. Make sure that they don't give away easy chances like they have in the past. An amazing pinch clear, but it's going to come to no avail. It's Ponk another miss in defense, expecting the early shot. Menorca fakes it out. Faxon loses the ball. Sinks gets 50'd out, but it's back in the red half. Sinks misses this one, drops it down. Menorca assumed the early shot, but he does just about manage to recalibrate his aerial, keep it away from Ponk, and they get the counter for it. A minute left to go. Another goal would do wonders for them. Ease their worries, their fears of a quick counter, of a mistake, but they can't quite get this one through. And Enclave going to get another chance.
Menorca taking so much time on the backboard as he knows the clock's against the Enclave roster. It's a must-win for Enclave. They are a goal behind with 35 seconds and ticking. Ponk's on his own backboard. Skays tried to just play it towards the centre. Great save coming out from I believe that was Sinks. Phasing is there once again. Oh, Skays beam to the ball. Sinks had to pop it up high. So I think Premier was there for the follow-up shot. Menorca trying to keep the attack alive, and right now Vanguard's just pinning Enclave in their own half. It's exactly where they do not want to be. A great shot coming out from Premier. Phasing sees to recover. Skays tries to find the flick on. Not going to be effective enough as Menorca just sends it right down the end of the field, and with that width from Ponk, this may well be it unless Sinks can work some of his magic. Unfortunately not. Faison is there, decides to jump towards the ball, place it off the side. Menorca's there once again, and Menorca is just going to rub salt into the wound to find the third goal. Fortune did favour him, you have to say, but eventually, Vanguards, nailing the coffin, to say the least.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. They had hope beyond hope to keep that up, try and score with something, some sort of counter-attack, but it ends up going complete opposite direction. They set up the finish for Menorca, bag him a goal, Premier with a brace as well. And they just seemed to continue the same way that they were playing from game one, despite the fact that it was an overtime. They didn't treat it as though it was a completely new set of dice. They kept rolling on and they kept pushing every single second. And as much time as Enclave had on offense, I think just one fewer shot. Or is that? Hold on. 4-7.
It's 9 to Vanguard's, 10 to Enclave. And
okay, right.
Clinical shooting from Vanguards, and
it's 8, yeah, so they've won.
I am going to reiterate. I think Enclave did get rather unlucky at moments throughout their offensive pressure. They're, maybe I'd say unlucky, maybe the wrong word, but that clinical nature of finishing, Enclave, they had so many opportunities to do that. They had so many opportunities to even take the game away from Vanguards, almost to run away with it. They just could not, as you say, buy a goal. And it's unfortunate, but at the end of the day, that's what separates these teams in these middle spots. Between the top and the bottom, is who can be who can be there at the right spot at the right time, who can finish the goals when the goals need to be finishing. And right now, Enclave just lack that element of their gameplay, and subsequently Vanguards, they're punishing them for it. It hasn't been large margins that Vanguards have been winning by. It has been these minutiae inches that have broken things away, but Enclave this time, thinks definitely not missing this opportunity.
Two of the players just got demoed. Punk and Faxon were gone, but Sinks was up the field and ready. That's how little difference it can make. If you're in the right place at the right time, you literally just said it, then you can get a shot away, you can get a chance. Vanguard's got over-aggressive and they got punished for it. Give Enclave some life, some chance. Of course, they have no more chance now in this series of taking that 6th spot. They needed a 3-1 at the very least. All I can hope for is a 2-2, but still, keeping close with your match rivals just above you is still important. They recognise that, they know that, and Sinks has a chance to prove it as a 2-0 lead. Less than a minute into this third game is exactly the response they were looking for.
Yeah, they heard my call to action. More clinical! The ball has to actually cross the line. All of the ball has to cross the line. I think they may have forgotten that in the notes I sent them before the game. Maybe you've misread the script marginally, but at the end of the day, it's exactly what is needed. And it's actually set them up with a nice lead here. But we mustn't get hasty. Plenty of Rocket League left to play, and Vanguards have been very impressive, but mistakes happening on defense from them now. Menorca does a very good job of slowing down the offensive pressure coming out from Enclave, giving this guys a plethora of opportunities to sliding it forward, but again, Sink's going to be there cutting the midfield. Bonk going up early. The pass back unintentional, I think, and has given Premier a lot of room to breathe here. It's set up the side of Vanguards with a counter attack, but the demo is going to slow that down. Gaze is going to get demoed once again by Ponk. But a good job from Vanguards to stabilise these demos and keeping this offensive pressure up.
Yeah, the physicality seemed to be almost happenstance. There's been a few times where I don't think it's entirely intentional, just run into each other. Some mid-air collisions as well. Maybe it wasn't meant to happen, and it did actually hurt Vanguards the first time they did it. But they've managed to stem the tide so far, just about keeping Sinks away, hunting that hat-trick, he is. And to prove that Enclave can still fight for that playing spot, can prove their worth in this elite tier. As you said, still plenty of Rocket League left to play, 3 minutes specifically in this third game. Vanguards are on the offensive, they had 3 players up the field. They did link up, the angle wasn't quite sufficient, Premier to follow. Sinks got enough time and space to put this away to the corner, but Menorca is there to pinch it. Faxon away. Thankfully, Sinks is there to follow it, but he mistouches. Mistouch again from Skazy. And I think there's just maybe a little bit of complacency setting in for Vanguards. We were thinking they'd be a lot more clinical here. Prem does go for the bump. gets the demo from it, but Menorca was awkward in the corner, and Enclave are happy to see it.
They are. Nicely done by Fakeson as well to take Premier out of the game. Positive commit. Menorca with a whiff as well. Whiffs happening left, right, and centre for Vanguard. Days and Menorca both double commit in front of the net. Fortunately for them, Fakeson was on the wrong trajectory to find the follow-up shot. A good pass from Menorca over to Premier to send it towards the backboard. Menorca is there once again as Premier was going for the touch and play.
The
clearance goal was there. The over-aggression, as you heard Vector say, being absolutely lethal. And Vanguard's really looking troubled here in this game number 3. Do you say complacency? Really starting to settle in the nerves. The shaky hands happening over in this game. Enclave will be happy to take that. Then again, Enclave being much more clinical with their finishes than they were in games 1 and 2. Things now trying to play up the backboard, looking for something more. The Skate is there, working his best midfield opportunities. And how the tides have turned. I mean, 5 shots for Enclave, 3 for the Vanguard side. Make that 6 shots for Enclave. Because they've really stepped it up here. They've controlled the midfield so effectively. The double tap attempt is there, but unfortunately not enough boost for Skate to get back to it. Sinks even to get back to it. There's Menorca left upfield, trying to make something happen once again, but the rotation of Enclave very clear, giving Face an opportunity to go forward. Premier off the backboard. 2 players for the side of Enclave there waiting, so not going to be too troubling to deal with. There's Menorca and Premier link up, trying to find something. Oh my lord, I thought Ponk keep that out, but absolutely not. Menorca's drop down shot, going to go in. I think things completely misread it. Couldn't get up to it as he went for the squishy side. Ponk with a great attempt, but eventually that's put the Vanguard side on the board here in this game number 3. You do not want to light a fire under them because they've got a lot of time to bring this game back.
They do. And Enclave would have loved a 4-0. They're going to have to settle with a 3-2. They get beaten again, exposed here through the corner. This was basically off kickoff as well. Skeezy was there and Premier, quick as you like, posting in. They find themselves in a much more tenuous situation, much more threatening one, frightening one. So I was about to start talking about the fact that something I spoke with Liquid in the first series about, that once an opponent goes like 3 or 4 goals up, you're sort of forced to start playing differently, to get more aggressive, because you've got less and less time to equalize, to get yourself on the board, that you instinctively get more subconsciously, get more aggressive, get more pressured, and start pushing unnecessarily at times. You saw it with Premier, where he went for a demo on the guy that actually ended up scoring the clearance goal. So if you don't get those demos, if you don't get away with that, you can really be punished. But it's Enclave that get punished here for some complacency of their own, and now fighting to keep this lead intact, keep their chances alive. As Menorca taking his time, didn't quite have the boost to play that play out. It's Punk happy to clear this one up to Faxon, back to the midfield line. Premier to beat out one, but not enough to follow it. Skazy's there, but he gets beaten as well. It's in the wrong side of the half for Vanguard's sake, as this one's dropped down straight to Punk. Sink's looking for his hat-trick, but he will be denied. It's kept alive. Premier keeps it up high, but it's going to be a blue player first there. Faxon gets to it, but Skazy keeps it up as well. It's going to drop down. And as much chance as they had, a decent-looking comeback in that final minute or so. Enclave just about hold on to keep this series at the very least a 2-1 and give themselves hope for a 2-2.
Yeah, I mean, 2-2 I don't think is what either of these teams would have wanted going into this series. Early on this season, early on in the season, I think they may well have been happy with a 2-2. But so late into the season, it really doesn't play dividends well to either of their score lines in terms of the standings. So there's this game here, it's a big one for Enclave. It will give them the opportunity to potentially. Really comes down to other games to go forward into the play-ins, but Vanguards they can't drop this extra game. It's putting them in such a precarious place, being in that 6th spot, potentially being knocked out, and that's not where you want to be. You don't want to play with those sort of nerves on your shoulders in your last week. So if they win this game, they'll be very, very happy. But Enclave, they looked much stronger here. They forced complacency into the Vanguard's gameplay, and Vanguards looked weaker, looked more not scared, but nervous because of it, and it's really showing in their gameplay. Enclave, they've got it in them. Yes, Sinks has got 308 ping. It is skyrocketing up and down now and then, but, you know, he's dealt with it so far, so hopefully he'll be able to deal with it again this game number 4.
Yeah, he almost bagged a hat-trick in that last game, despite the fact he might be having some issues. But for Vanguard's sake, the silver lining is the fact that all they needed to do in this series really was to avoid a loss. A draw is enough for them to secure their 6th place, at least going into the final week, because the team just below Enclave in 8th place, Oasis, has already played both their matches. They're at 22 wins, so if this ends a case 27 wins for Vanguards, if they manage to hold on to this final game, then it'll be great fruit for them, a boon going into the final week. They haven't got too much hope of getting up into 5th spot, but if they can hold on to 6th to keep Enclave back, then they can really look to see themselves in the play-ins come playoff time. But right now, Enclave, they really don't want that. They're trying to change the script.
They really are. Ponk with the opener here in game number 4. Just 35 seconds into this match. Gay's trying to change the script again, but Ponk's going to be there to cut out in the midfield, and this is where Enclave looks stronger when they were able to have that midfield control. It's a great demo coming out from Premier onto Ponk to slow down the attack momentarily. He's also able to get back to the ball to send it into the blue halfer, forcing the side of Enclave to have to play defense. It's a great shot coming in, but even better save from Ponk. He came off the backboard to keep that shot out. Thinks now on the prowl to find the clearance met by Menorca, who's that first man right now for the Vanguard's roster phase and is able to knock it over once, but Skays going to pre-jump for that, find the read, isn't able to air dribble it too far. It is still Enclave on the defense. Premier trying to knock it up high, looking for a teammate, instead finds Ponk in the aerial. The midfield battle really setting these two teams apart. Who can control it? So it really sets up a lot of opportunities. Premier trying to find one of his own. Thinks he's going to meet him. Counter-attack opportunity here for the side of Enclave. But Skays once again on the rotations, keeping that out of his own half. But Menorca with a lovely air dribble met in the air. Skays with a follow-up shot off the bat, all over the double tap, but he's going to find it. And Skays with the equaliser.
Initially, my my heart rate went up because, like, oh no, third man going for this shot, knowing both of his teammates are upfield. But he clinches it, and he managed to get the double tap. Looked scary for a moment there, but they get the equaliser in a much quicker fashion than they have done throughout this series, on average. It gives them some hope of a 3-1 win. Happy to take any game win after, as I said, securing at the very least a draw is huge for them, and it's even bigger as Menorca puts this one in. Ponk has been forced to put that away, but Menorca does really well to hold on to this ball as well, keeps it close and sinks his disruptor just long enough on that backboard to keep him away from the challenge. And now a 2-1 lead in favour of Vanguards. The entire server, I think, is having a hissy fit. It wasn't just Sinks. But I hope it's not affecting the gameplay too much as this drops down, and Ponk is wise enough to take that to the corner, keep this one close.
Really, really good job from Ponk there.
Whoa.
Okay, he's able to keep that out as well. Enclave really refusing to roll over. A great cut from Menorca is going to keep that attack from going anywhere. Ponk is there going up again. Once again, plays off the back ball. Premier's there to meet it. Faison has to cut early because the bounce was awkward for him, giving Skays an opportunity to air dribble it forward. Does a very good job and gets the demo on that third man. An attacking opportunity here once again for the Vanguards, but it's taken away by Faison. Can he do anything? Can he read it? No, he can't. But every time I've casted today, we've had an own goal. Are you having a laugh?
This is again something that Liquid and I were discussing. Like, when it waterfalls, the defenders are scared to go up in case they misjudge it and put it into their own net. And the exact same situation happened here. They had to respect the fact that Faxon was going for this. Just about misses it. And I'm not entirely sure who it was that put that into the back of their own net. But they're going to be kicking themselves as it's led to an almost one-goal lead for Enclave there. Faxon's just about denied by Skazy on the line, but not going to deny this one as Ponk secures his brace. Gets that go-ahead goal once again, and there seems to be a similar pattern here. Misplays through the corner. I mean, Ponk reads this really, really well. He stays with the play. But the fact that they even get a slight touch out of there and no one's ready to follow it, the communication clearly is lacking. They need to be ready for these outfield passes much more often, or they're going to get punished just like they did there.
Really are. Great read from Ponk again. What a pass from Ponk. Down to Sinks. Let's see that again. He's the one with the original touch. He also gets the follow-up just to knock it back enough out to Premier's reach, giving Sinks that shot. That's 4-2 for Enclave. We were just on a 2-2. We were talking about how it was back and forth, but now Enclave's starting to step it up when they need be, or maybe Vanguard's increasingly shaky as the fifth goes in.
What's going on?
What's happening? This Vanguard team is falling apart in front of our eyes.
2 kickoff goals on the bounce. Menorca does the best that he can to salvage that, but Ponk dives upon it and clinches his hat-trick now. 3 goals off of 4 shots. They're looking to do it again, but this time they're wise to it. Faxon's bumped out of the opportunity. Premier attempting a double tap, but Sinks managed to pinch that ball between his car and the wall. Sends it back forward. Skeezy with a very fortunate respawn there. Get the free clear. Probably didn't even know it was coming by the time he hit it. All Enclave need to do is play keep away. A minute to score 3 goals. That's something that's not been possible for either of these sides. They haven't been able to close a 3-goal deficit. And they've got to do it now against an Enclave that are on such a high, I'm sure. Knowing that they could secure the chance to try and get into that 6th spot next week by keeping this one close, to keep it just 1 game between the two. If they can win this 4th, and it's looking like it's going to go that way.
It really is. More exciting looking ahead. Prem's going to win that 50-50. Can he slot it in? Yes, he can.
Not over yet.
Just 1 in 44 seconds for 2. Sounds like a much more doable.
What's that double commit?
I don't really know. I tried to just gloss over it and ignore it. It's one of those things. But still, if Enclave fall apart here, I don't think they will be coming back next week. We'll have to see. Menorca is going to be the first one to set it in the correct trajectory for the Vanguards, but it's well dealt with by Faison. Premier has to now do the same. He's played around him. Skay's going to get the demo onto Ponk. Premier just tries to flick it forward. Thinks he's just going to cut that out in the midfield to slow the attacker down. He's actually going to go again as well. As he look for the backboard touch, Menorca knocks it forward to 1-2.
He's just hunting!
Demo, but Faison reads that, and Menorca's going to come in, find the shot, and we have 15 seconds for 1 goal. What are we watching, Vector?
This was so close. We know that Premier's been looking to do that. Go for the bumps. He got one in the mid. Couldn't quite get Faxon. Got the save. They got 2 kickoff goals on Enclave. Vanguard could easily get one of their own. A good start here. They get in front of each other, but it's passed into the mid. Menorca's there. He gets the dunk, but it's off the crossbar. No! That was the chance. They're out of possession now. They've got to get it all the way back up the field. They're in each other's way once again. Premier loses that one, but it's going to bounce. Menorca has the chance, but he misses the ball. Steven's got to pick it up. He's got the dribble. He's got the height as well, but Premier can't quite get to it, and it is the ground. Enclave.
What was
survive? Survive. That is how they did that. Oh my goodness!
I can't quite believe what I just
how
watched.
Close that! Oh my goodness! That dunk off the crossbar, bouncing into the ground. They kept it alive, but they could not get it back upfield. Oh, that was crazy. I feel really, really bad for Vanguards there, but you've got to give it to Enclave.
Everyone in high school doubted me. Woke up to a text, said they're proud of me. Everyone in high school doubted me. Woke up to a track, now they proud of me. Everyone in high school doubted me. Woke up to a text, say they're proud of me. Woke up to a text, say they're proud of me. Say they're proud of me. To the prom night, high school, I might get it. I can't leave till